Hey everybody, Mike Naso here with a tropical update here this evening, taking a look at where we should be for this time of year. We are now on August 4th, which puts us right about here, and we have had three named storms, which is right about here. So we are just slightly above where we should be for this time of year. It's very possible that we could even out or continue to be above average. Right now, latest forecasts from the experts say we are going to have a very active season with about 15 storms and I think up to about 8 hurricanes. So we could be in for a lot of activity over the next several weeks. Out there, of course, 99L came back to life in a big way here approaching Central America. And you can see there is a lot of convection, but still no real circulation. That's been its problem all along. And is moving into Central America is going to cause a lot of rainfall anywhere from western Cuba down over the Yucatan all the way down to Costa Rica, and that's going to continue overland probably, and that's probably what we're looking at. You can see the wind shear, a very favorable pattern over the top of it with an anticyclone, 5 to 10 knots of shear at the very most in a favorable direction. You can even see on the tendencies the Western Caribbean now very favorable, the only shear coming from the outflow of the system as it tried to get better organized as it's coming inland. And you can see the track models there initializing the system right offshore of Honduras and Nicaragua, right around the border. Continued movement towards the west or west-northwest, it could potentially exit into the eastern Pacific, at least some of the energy, and there is a chance that some of the energy may move more towards the Bay of Campeche. We'll keep an eye on that, but even if we did see development in the Atlantic, it would likely remain weak and move into land very quickly, and that even seems unlikely. Now this wave reminds me a lot of a wave in July of 1999. You can see it there. This was July 5th, 1999. Doesn't seem that long ago. Well, it was long ago. It doesn't seem that long ago. But that wave in July of 99 moved across the Atlantic, very much like our wave, moved through the islands. Recon flights went through it. Hurricane Center watched it, but it never developed a circulation. Looks very much like our wave did a couple of days ago. But then what happened once it hit Central America? Look at that. It turned into a very well organized tropical wave and ended up spawning a depression in the eastern Pacific Ocean. So sometimes these waves just, they can't get their act together and it's too late. But nevertheless, this one still could cause some problems for Central America and you want to watch out for flooding rain potential. Off the coast of Africa, we saw a very strong wave come off, and I was talking with some people on the different forums about the reasons why we've seen these tropical waves the last three hurricane seasons, '05, '06, and now '07, seem to go poof as soon as they leave Africa. And I noted, and they noted as well, that these clouds up here, see these clouds out here? These mean cooler waters. When you start to see those clouds, you see these in the eastern Pacific, cooler waters up here. And I actually think that the high pressure has been so strong recently that maybe there's a bit of a flow pushing cooler water down, or maybe it's just that the waters are not warming as much off the coast of Africa. So you'll have the southern convective end of these waves very favorable, but the northern end will be over cooler water and it won't happen. You can see the low pressure from the one that moved off this direction. More convection to the south. This one may be one to watch. And then another little tidbit moving off. That one may be something to keep an eye on the next several days because it is August and we'll see how things work out with that. In the Eastern Pacific, this system looking a bit better organized. Wouldn't be surprised to see development, although it's heading towards cooler water. And another system far down here to the south that's having trouble getting organized. A lot of convection and thunderstorm activity near the Baja. And in the Western Pacific, we have a tropical depression moving inland near Vietnam, very disorganized. And then this is an invest out here, but this will likely be classified, I think, as a tropical storm, and it should be very shortly, very well organized. We're probably looking at our next typhoon out of this, maybe even a strong typhoon, and this should head generally off towards the west, northwest, or northwest over the next several days. So I'm Mike Naso. That's the latest on the tropics. I will see you next time.